Hi Year 4, we are going into our writing lesson today then, and we are going to be looking at using high level persuasive vocabulary, okay? So copper and bronze, you'll be doing that using prompts and with the help from a parent or a teacher, and silver, you are going to be doing that increasingly independently, and gold, you're going to be using a variety of vocabulary in your sentences today. So your anchor task, we are looking at topical versus technical vocabulary and what the difference is between them. So as a reminder, topical vocab are words or phrases which link to the genre of writing you are using. So it might be in contrast, moreover, so these are adverbs that you might use to link your paragraphs together. The word pig or the word fern because they are linked to Charlotte's Web, to the book we are studying. Technical vocab are the techniques that we might use in our writing. So these might be conjunctions, prepositions, adjectives, or anything else that you can think of that we might use as a technique in persuasive writing. So your anchor task then, can you sort these statements under the subheadings? So are they topical or technical? Okay, so pause the video and put these words underneath the two subheadings. Okay then, so let's have a sort of them together. So we have topical and we have technical. So technical vocab is high level vocabulary. We might have a salutation. We will use paragraphs, we will use emotive language, and we will use the present tense and adverbs. Okay, topical, we have hog, euthanize, heartless, runt. On the other hand, farmer and inhumane. So well done if you got all of those correct. Okay. What is a persuasive text? So we've already talked about this in class or you've read about it at home. So persuasive text is a text which argues a point of view. So our point of view is that Mr. Arable should save the runt pig Wilbur. And we are convincing the reader to agree with us. So we have an opening statement, our introduction, we have our main arguments which are our middle paragraphs, and we have our conclusion which summarises. So that's your Viper's summary skill that you learn in your reading lessons. Okay. So, persuasive writing is written in the present tense. And we use conjunctions to link our ideas together. So we could have because, however, this shows, therefore. And we also use time conjunctions such as firstly, secondly, or finally. We've already discussed the fact that we need to use facts because it gives us evidence and proof for our arguments. And this is what we looked at when we were doing our P4C or debate lesson in class, that facts and opinions are important in giving evidence to our argument. We need to make sure that our writing is very interesting, and then we're using simple sentences so that the reader understands. And here's some example of strong, clear and emotive language that you might use to persuade somebody to agree with you. So you might choose to use those in your writing later in the week or even today. Okay. Emotive language then. Sometimes writers deliberately choose words to be emotive, so to make you feel something in particular. Emotive language means words that create an emotion in the reader. So how does this make you feel and what are the emotive words? And it says, after Christmas every year, there are thousands of abandoned puppies left to wander the streets, scared and alone. Only your support can rescue them. So I think that the word abandoned puppies. So abandoned, that's a terrible straight line, Miss Cook. Abandoned makes you feel sorry for those puppies. And the fact that they've put the word puppies, not dogs, so it's making you think of them as poor defenceless babies, because they're baby dogs, so we feel even more sorry for them. They're left to wander the streets, so we're exaggerating every single word, okay? It's making us feel so sorry for these little dogs, and they're scared and alone. And then it persuades you even more because it says only your support can rescue them, so it makes you feel like you're responsible and you're the one who can save them. And that's what you're going to try and create today. We're going to make a word bank of vocabulary to help us with our emotive language, and then we're going to use it in sentences. So here are some examples of using emotive language to persuade. So we've picked out thousands of runt pigs are murdered, poor defenceless animals, weak innocent babies, they have no voice, they're scared and alone, only you can decide, could you live with yourself, and only a monster would kill a runt. Okay. Can you think of your own emotive language? So I want you to have a little think if you can make a list of your own vocabulary you might wish to use to persuade someone, to persuade Mr. Arable to save the runt pig. So you can use an iPad, or you can use our waggle from last week to help you, and I've attached it to the flip chart on the next slide. Okay, you can also use the dog slide that we have just read from to pick up some more vocab. So pause the video and make a list of vocabulary you might wish to use in your persuasive letter. Okay then. What you are going to do with your vocab now is you're going to turn it into sentences. So you are not writing your letter today, you are writing sentences that you could use in your letter. So separate sentences. And I've given some examples here. So I've chosen my piece of vocab, so only a monster, and I've put only a monster can euthanize the frail pig. Okay, so I've persuaded by using only a monster, I've used euthanize, and I've used frail. So I'm describing the pig as really weak and poor. Another example, these poor baby hogs have no voice. So I'm making you, Mr. Arable, feel really sorry for the pig because he can't talk for himself. He can't save himself, and that's why you are writing your letter. Okay, so I want you now to write sentences using your emotive language, and I cannot wait to see what you produce because I know you're going to be able to persuade Mr. Arable to save the pig. Okay, good luck Year 4, and I look forward to seeing your work on Class Dojo.